Hunter?
We were backstage, so I think we were actually good.
Okay.
Wait, not Johnny.
The Lou Information Station and the Too Many Men on the Mic podcast present the MidStates Club Hockey Association Playoffs. Brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, find us stlouishome.com, and by Benet Kelly Insurance.
We are live from Queenie here for one of our final Wickenheiser matchups here, our final day of the Wickenheiser pool play as we get ready for St. Dominic and Priory for what will be a fantastic matchup to round up pool play here in the Wick. Jacob Sonic alongside Daniel Hinkamp, our producer here today, alongside us, Hunter Mulholland, and this is a game that it might not mean a lot in the grand scheme of things to St. Dominic, but they can really be a spoiler here for Priory, who, really just needs a win to get into the quarterfinals.
After a really strong season for St. Dominic, they finished first in the St. Charles East, 8-7-5. It just hasn't gone their way in playoffs. They're 0-2 after a couple losses to Francis Allen and Eureka, and that just isn't what they were looking for. Priory's got some really high-flying forwards that they're really trying to shut down, especially for the Gardner's regular season. In only 18 games, he scored 37 goals, had 19 assists. That's good for 56 points, just over 3.1 points in the game. So he's going to try and go out on the tear. We'll see St. Dominic has an answer for him.
Well, Priory had a long time to think about it, almost a week now. They went back-to-back Monday and Tuesday of last week, took down Eureka 5-2, and then lost to Francis Howell, got shut out 2-0. It's the Vikings on top of Pool D right now, 2-0, as they have wins over both of these teams, over St. Dominic and Priory. So they're pretty much a lock for the quarterfinals. So it could be a little bit of a mix-up there if they end up losing to Eureka tonight. All these teams have not played in over a week. Same thing goes for St. Dominic and Howell. Both of them played Monday and Tuesday of last week. St. Dominic, it was a close one, 2-1 to Howell before losing to Eureka 3-1. So it will be interesting. It's kind of the head-to-heads when it comes to a lot of these plays. If Priory were to lose here or if Eureka were to win, well, there'll be a late one tonight. So, but if Priory gets to win, it's pretty much going to be almost guaranteed Howell Priory.
Yeah, and Priory has a little bit extra of an advantage here. They've played all of their pool play games at this rink at Queenie, and this is going to be the first one for St. Dominic. So they'll have a little bit of a feel for how the puck's bouncing on the ice, how the hops off the boards and off the stanchion on the glass are. So that's an advantage that they have as well. So I'm just going to look for them to try and use what they know about this rink to their advantage.
And I'm sure Priory would like to get out and get some scoring in as well. They're a +1 when it comes to the goal margin, just in case it has to go to that when it comes to goal differential. They are +1 right now. On the opposite side for Pool D, Howell's up 3, St. Dominic -3, Eureka -1. So that could come into play as well, but we're not entirely sure. It all comes down. It's going to be a late one now, 9:30 tonight. I'm sure the Priory boys, if they're able to pull this one off, will be looking forward to it here today. And it will be total points, and head-to-head is going to be the big one. Most wins, goal differential is the 4th tiebreaker. So when it comes to the end of the night, the head-to-head obviously is going to be the big playmaker here. And that's why Priory really needs to get a big win. And then it's just going to be watching to be safe, be sure that Eureka does lose to Howell tonight. Though Howell, it's going to be tough. You're already 2-0 in the pool. You're thinking, oh, we're just cruising now. Don't really need to worry about it. But I'm sure they're looking at, they're still thinking, well, there's always that chance. You never know.
Yeah, you can't get too overconfident and just think you're in, because that's when it's going to bite you. And Priory just as well. Like, they can't come into this game thinking that they're moving on. They're going to win this one, move on, because St. Dominic's 0-2. Because you mentioned it earlier, Jake. It's a great opportunity to play spoiler. And whenever they'll say you have nothing to play for at that point because you can't move on. But trying to spoil someone else's season is certainly more than something to play for, if you ask me.
Well, it will be an interesting one. 6:30 puck drop. Teams just about getting ready to come out for warm-ups. The Crusaders and the Ravens. Battle of a couple of privates here in West County and also St. Charles County. So a little bit of a really fun matchup here to round up our final day of Wickenheiser pool play, and then it'll really get fun coming up in the upcoming weeks. But in just a few minutes, it's going to be the Ravens and the Crusaders. Priory looking to move on to the quarterfinals. It's St. Dominic looking to be the spoilers. We come back on the Lou Information Station.
Money decisions aren't always easy. That's why Vantage delivers confidence, services, and support to reach your financial goals. With a Vantage checking account, you'll enjoy convenient account access with powerful digital banking and branches across the St. Louis metro. Plus, benefits like 30,000 no-fee ATMs nationwide, cell phone protection, roadside assistance, and shopping discounts. We put you first because Vantage is truly your credit union. Get to know us at vcu.com or a branch in your community. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
When young athletes get hurt, fast care matters. At WashU Medicine Orthopedics, same-day walk-in care is available for injuries that happen both on and off the ice. With 12 area locations and 4 walk-in clinics, doctors here care for athletes at every level, from peewee to pro. Big hits, hard falls, get expert care, and get back in the game. WashU Medicine Orthopedics, team physicians for the St. Louis Blues, and you. Search WashU Medicine Ortho online. That's WashU Medicine Ortho.
You want a backyard paradise next summer? Talk to Merrimack Pools and Outdoors now. No surprises, great design, straight pricing, and you could be swimming by Memorial Day. Hit SplashSTL.com. Merrimack Pools and Outdoors, turning big Griswold dreams into real St. Louis backyards for 25 years.
Back here from Queenie as we get ready. Teams about to take the ice for warm-ups here. The MidStates Hockey Playoff pregame show brought to you by Mattingly Lumber. From foundation to finish, house all of your home building needs under one roof with Mattingly Lumber. One call, one solution. MattinglyLumber.com. Well, this is going to be, we'll take a moment here before we get going. Just kind of set the stage across all of the WIC right now. When you go to Pool A currently, Lafayette up top, 2-0. Ladue, 1-1. Northwest, 1-1. Clayton, 0-2. That will be a really fun shakeup here. We'll be really paying attention to all these pools later tonight. Wentzville Liberty up 2-0. Parkway West, 1-1. Lake Tide MICDS, they're 0-1. And Webster Groves, a shocker, the number 3 seed in the WIC, is 0-2. Here after that shocking loss to Parkway West, who trying to solidify it with a win here tonight to move up. And looking like Liberty's a lock now with that West MICDS tie. Pool B, they got Lindbergh up 2-0. Rockwood Summit also 2-0. So that's pretty much over and done with. Lindbergh, Rockwood Summit's going to be moving on. Oakville and Wentzville Timberland are going to be eliminated. And we talked about Pool D here. Francis Howell on top. Priory 1-1. Eureka 1-1. St. Dominic 0-2. France Howell 2-0. And the big difference between in this pool compared to the other ones is that goal differential and the head-to-head are so tight with each other that when it's going to come to those tiebreakers, you might have to start digging for a lot of those if worst-case scenario comes for both of these teams.
And the last tiebreaker on the list is initial seeding. So if it comes down to it, you had a good regular season, you get to move on. But back to Webster. Daniel, you played in these games. How big of a hit as the highest seed in the pool is it when you go out and you lose that first game? How big of a hit mentally does it take inside of the locker room?
Well, especially how big of an upset it was at 3 versus 14. You go in, you think, okay, I might cruise. I might cruise for sure being the quarterfinal round. But just over 20 seconds into the game against
22, I think. Yeah, exactly. It was insane.
It was very, very quick. It was a shock to the entire crowd and everybody in the arena.
be the spoiler, trying to make that difference, make a change, shake things up, fun. But now you're Priory. Now their mindset is you have to win. What are the key elements in this game? One side's got nothing to lose, but one has got everything. It's going to be a really interesting look. It's all or nothing, or nothing at all. That's really the grand how it's going to shake out here. St. Dominic trying to be the fun one, make it spicy at the end of the night. On the other side, Priory win and move on for the Ravens. We'll step aside one more time. MidStates playoff. Wickenheiser, Gould D, final night in the Wick. We should have a fun one here on hand, so don't go away from the Lou Information Station.
When young athletes get hurt, fast care matters. At WashU Medicine Orthopedics, same-day walk-in care is available for injuries that happen both on and off the ice. With 12 area locations and 4 walk-in clinics, doctors here care for athletes at every level, from peewee to pro. Big hits, hard falls, get expert care, and get back in the game. WashU Medicine Orthopedics, team physicians for the St. Louis Blues, and you. Search WashU Medicine Ortho online. That's WashU Medicine Ortho.
Money decisions aren't always easy. That's why Vantage delivers confidence, services, and support to reach your financial goals. With a Vantage checking account, you'll enjoy convenient account access with powerful digital banking and branches across the St. Louis metro. Plus, benefits like 30,000 no-fee ATMs nationwide, cell phone protection, roadside assistance, and shopping discounts. We put you first because Vantage is truly your credit union. Get to know us at vcu.com or a branch in your community. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Kenny Reinhold is a trusted real estate advisor with 21 years of experience and a proud sponsor of our Mid-States playoff broadcast. Kenny is the #1 agent at the Central Region office at the #1 local real estate company, Caldwell Banker Realty Gundaker. With over $200 million in sales and over 200 five-star reviews, you can be confident in your next move. Call Kenny at 314-724-7932 or visit findastlouishome.com. And good luck to all the teams.
Michigan's two seniors, and first game here to come out. We don't know who will be the quarterfinals as well. Who will match up with who? It will be very interesting. It's been even more about this playoff. There's been some really shocking upsets. There's been some hot seats that have gone down to some low seats on top of the field. I mean, it just couldn't get much better than this. That's exactly what it was. What a shakeup they got. I mean, I'm sick. And that's exactly what you want. You want teams to try flying. I mean, there's just a lot of really fun stories, some real shockers. And that's just what you got to love about this sport and what can happen with it.
And you got to love it for us. We saw that turnaround from Lafayette in the building. We were in the building the day that they beat Oakville, and they came out and they kind of found their groove offensively. And we were, again, last week against Ladue, we got to see another big upset for them in a way that kind of has their feelings on this playoff run a little bit heightened versus where they probably were at the beginning of the year.
So as we get ready for the first period, brought to you by Vantage Credit Union, your financial partner for life in Metro St. Louis. Learn more at vcu.com. Both teams getting ready. It will be Priory in the red with the white numbers and letters and their logo on the front saying Ravens. They will be going from left to right on your computer screen or radio dial. St. Dominic in the baby blues with Crusaders diagonally across the side. They will be going from right to left. In the net for Priory is going to be Nathan Sutto, and on the opposite side, Aaron Tinker. We are just about ready to go. Sueso facing off against one of the Gardners. We are underway from Queenie here. Final Wickenheiser full play game as Gordon's up ice tried to spring forward for the Crusaders. Flung back down by the Ravens. Cross-ice feed, win, able to snipe it up. Quickly up Freeman, working through, trying to find a tip in the slot, couldn't find it. Along the near side wall, moving it up ice, meter, moving it through. Gardner lost the handle, and he has been incredible as he gets it down to another Gardner. That one, George, back behind the net. There's Frederick Gardner in the corner, spinning around, shot, got blocked all the way through. Another slapper from the point gun, flying high for Parmeter. In the far side corner. Fired around by George Gardner. Into the corner. Battle for it. Harry trying to get in there. Evans along the ice. Will able to get it up to Freeman in front of the Ravens bench. Fire. Ooh, a dangerous one. Shouldered away at the last second by Sutto. Cross ice feed. Almost turned over. As Cody tried to get in front of it, and he's able to tip it back. Oh, but it gets bounced off the linesman. Back of the way, shot fired high over the blocker's side. Now second chance out front, another save made on the backhand. Wow. A great chance there by Max Nadad. It's backhanded over near side wall by Werner, and it's given away. Not back in by the Crusaders. Back into the point. The zone. Shot through, and the deflection didn't go through the way he wanted to. Went right into the skates of Hody. And it popped back out. Now in the far corner. He'll chip it towards the net. Goes off the outside of it. Fired away. And on the near side, the zone. Hunter deflected it low. Held up. Waltz. Able to collect in the corner. Nice speed. Gets through. Played up by the goaltender, Tinker. Long stretch pass up ahead, deflected in deep. Off of the glass, knocked out really into the crease. Luckily for the Ravens, not a single Crusader in sight. Now they are able to win it back on the near side wall, but then give it a right back way. Strauss takes it for a tour in the defensive zone, trying to find a breakout pass. But it's taken away again by the Crusaders. Penning walking through, and we're going to have our first power play in the game as well. That's all thanks to the hot start by St. Dominic's here.
Yeah, good play from St. Dominic. You get in and on a chance on a breakaway almost. Had three Ravens converge on him. Looks like Strauss is going to be the one that's going to go sit for two for a hook. Team showing 0 so far for the power play percentage. That's for the playoffs.
And St. Dominic, 18.8 in the regular season. On the other side, Priory just under 80, 79.4. So face off on the near side, Sueso against Frederick Gardner. There are three Gardners. We met George earlier. Robert Gardner, the other one, is the Ravens faithful marking away. Would have something like a but a bit of a not much room on this. I don't think he could do that. Yeah. Freeman up ice, just missed the goal of Evans. Fired back up as Parmeter, and that one is a hand pass in neutral zone, and they will keep it inside down.
Going to be really important for St. Dominic to kind of hold this pressure and hold this physicality that they've had for the first couple minutes here throughout this power play, throughout this game, to really try and, if they really want to be the spoilers, that's going to be the biggest key for them.
Getting up and out of the zone on his backhand, and now George steals it away. Slot misses man Freeman on the far side, and is able to dangle past one. That one being George Gardner. Over Over the near side, Evans blocks the point, gives it back. Not ready to receive there was Gwynn. He'll walk the top of the shot got blocked. A nice one there by the slightly smaller Gardner Berger's brother, Frederick. And now top of the circle, Evans, top of the point, shot through, save a rebound, and got whipped on. Oh, wide open on the far side was Gortz, and he could have finished that one. It just whipped on the play. Slesso backhands it up ice, good connection with speed. Freeman walking through behind the net, looks for a center, has to go up to the point. Evans keeps it, fires it over to the far side. Good, walks it through, slap shot, and it's covered up by Shuttle. Decent crowd showing up here now. There's a lot of Priory fans, a handful of St. Dominic fans. Hey, nice one come down the field. Watch the ball.
Away too from the Priory campus. So,
In Athens, one thing we did talk about, it's going to be hard to fill a arena because it's just so, there's a lot of stands, it's pretty tall. I would say it's still pretty good amount. It's going to be decent showing in Athens. Far side. Kalachi fired through. Shot got blocked through and another chance and a quick glove. I don't know if that one was going on goal, but Suttle makes sure it didn't have to.
yeah, one thing I've seen so far that I'd like to see a little improvement from the St. Dominic power play. It's just having a guy having that net front presence, someone out in front, because Suttle's been able to see pretty much every shot coming his way so far. So I think he has.
This one run by the Crusaders. Mark it down to his own. Able to get it back. It's Kalachi. High off the wall by Talbot. Suttle walks it to the defenseman. Priory waits. Looks for one to shoot down. Couldn't get it all the way down, but that was good. Kalachi had to stick a hand in it, but not going to get a lot out of that one. Also, Rob fired it down and icing Strauss at the same time out of the bench. Not an easy one for St. Dominic to swallow there as they gave it away right after the power play. MidStates Hockey Playoffs brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, Wash U Medicine Orthopedics, Kenny Reinhold, FlyStHome.com, and by Renee Kelly Insurance Agency. So, continuing to be over are both teams, at least at this point of the playoffs. 1 for 1 tonight. Mark Priory on the belly kill. Shot for the point. Swallowed up. One of the first frozen pucks we've seen tonight by Tinker.
Daniel, you got to go down to the ice earlier. What did you think about the ice? Anything?
It was very challenging. There's a lot of divots.
You have told us though when you skated on it, it's a weird thing to say this, but you said a couple months ago you skated, it felt sick.
It's weird. It did not feel
Yes.
like
It's a weird thing to say. You're just talking about ice, the legitimate synthetic ice. Just lost the handle moving through. Well, I mean, they've been playing a lot of hockey over recently, so really it's been holding up enough. Well, they've been seeing a lot of, I would say, snow. So there's that.
Yeah.
Good play. Shortstop moving it up. Flex its speed and bring it over the blue line 3-on-2. Able to get past one. Lost the handle. Flips it towards the slot. Man in the way. Now a stretch pass up ahead. It's a race. Gortz sticked away for a second there by Werner. Gortz spin move through. Backhand. The save made. Carson Gortz trying to move it through. Gortz is the team leader in goals in the regular season. Just though 5 and 8 when compared to Frederick Gardner's numbers, or excuse me, a points leader, I should say. 5 goals though, that's good for third on the team. Compared to Frederick Gardner though, it's a little bit of a step off. Gardner 37-19. That's pretty incredible if you ask me. There's only a few games over with 19. I should say 19 assists, but also 37 goals. Just 18 games. That's crazy. Crazy. That's a lot of hockey. And more as walking through the circle. Here come the Crusaders and able to stick it away with the Ravens. Wallace trying to move it up with speed and going to move it out of the way. Quick off and a big hit on Strauss as Dietrich just ran into him. Strauss with a little bit of elbow to help him out. There's Robert Gardner moving through, able to spin away. Passes on the goal line. He got hooked up, and now gives a little bit extra to Evans. He's got to be careful, though. He might negate the power play. Evans got to be careful before he gives him more than just two.
He might go for a high stick here. Yeah, that's it. Really high on Gardner, just trying to lift his stick down low and completely missed the stick and got all in the cage. So right in front of the official.
The third Gardner there, Robert. One of a handful of brothers. That's the Hehe brothers, Harry and Robert. They're in that mix as well. I think so. I thought it there is a couple of ones in Dominic as well. Handful of brothers. St. Dominic's out penalty killed in the regular season. They're over 90%. They flip it over, Farmater shot through and got blocked by his old man, Priory in front of the net, and came through his helmet. Gardner setting up in the far corner in the OV office. He can't handle a pass. He'll take it for a tour, gives it off, looking for a lane. Back to Gardner. David Gardner! The first power play goal for Priory in the playoffs, and they lead 1-0.
Some great play from the Gardner brothers. God's going to get to see a primary assist, but on the dishes, the pump ball back to get it up here at the blue line to the dog on the far side circle. They just goes right to that backdoor feed. What a play.
Really, really important here for Priory to get that goal and kind of take some pressure away from themselves, knowing that you have to win this game. This is a very big game for them. And to get that first goal out of the way, it's a huge relief.
Oh, he's got second and assist. 16. Big hit late on the far side. 1-0. It's Priory now out in front. And once again, it is Frederick Gardner getting the goal. And he's got his third of the playoffs. And it's left off for Nadal. Big hit late on the backside there against Miranda. Comes out to the near side. Hasselhoff pulls off. And he'll start it off over the blue line and try to give it off to his man Talbot right over the blue line. Yes. Right into by Hasselhoff. Miranda will take it into the corner himself. Gives some space. Nice shot on the backside there by Cutter to knock it off of his stick. Receivers looking for the breakdown. Flip off the wall. So moving through off of his skates. So it's moved forward. Goes in front shot Talbot. Almost gave it away. Now he does. Moving through. John tried to sell. He sold it enough. He got tripped up initially. He lifted up that skate. He figured, well, why don't we get the second one to go too, and let's get the call. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he just got clipped outside the blue line, but he kind of dug his left foot in after that. Said, I'm going to do a little bit of a to the Olympics figure skating, a little bit of a spin off the jump, sell it a little further.
Speaking of the Olympics, we should send Daniel over there to grade the ice.
Oh, yes. Considering what they just did.
Hey, take a page out of Kennedy's book. They're both St. Louis County parks. Kennedy's ice was phenomenal.
It was, yeah. Kennedy. It's a little bit.
That's an understatement.
Set up. 1-for-1 already on the power play are the Ravens against a strong Canada, but 66% both teams on the penalty kill this postseason. As this one out in front, popping through. It's gone down for St. Dominic. Waits, holds that, comes away at the last second. Sport's got to stick to it. Comes over on the near side. The near side there about this roll. Freeman wants to move it away. Priory right there too. Gardner going in on the next two crunch, and that was Dominic. And now finally out of the zone by Freeman. Out by the goaltender, Soto. Big move. Here comes Frederick Gardner with speed. He's already got one. Moving through the poke check. A really nice poke check there by Tinker. So far, 250 and an 878 in the postseason. Shot with the stick lift by Nadal there. As Walt's able to keep it along the blue line. He'll tow it, drop it off. Frederick Short shot through. Gardner She was just popped in off the wall. Another bad clearance. 35 seconds to go. 5 minutes left here in the first. Gardner able to collect. Down. Wow. Looking for Waltz. Now just walking to the side. Shot over that. Back out off the back wall. Into the slot. Gardner can't collect it. Might have been a 2-on-1, but Freeman didn't change. All the Crusaders did. They'll pop off the bench. Waltz collects in the near side circle. Out of his own zone. Top of the red line. Gives off. George Gardner didn't collect. Robert Gardner trying to stick it through. Straight up. His own work shot through. Power play is over. And it pops right back out to him. The Crusaders didn't see it. Another shot through. Another save made. Rebound popped right over the stick there. McGee.
Corner. That is a chance coming from the Raven faithful. Evans trying to play the bank, and it works out. Moving through center feed from Cutter, trying to connect with Penning, and instead it'll be taken away by the Ravens. Out of the zone, not for too long. Gwynn trying to pop it back through. A battle for in the neutral zone. Here comes St. Dominic. Right through, a nice hit. Coming fresh off for the bench there was Miranda. Gardner, Miranda, 2-on-2, moving up ice. He's got McGehee with him. Shot through, blocker save made. Now he's been hot tonight, Tinker, so far through these first few minutes. Backhanded up ice. Oh, misplayed. Walking through, deflection just went wide as that one was fired through by Kalos. Kalos with it on the near wall. Snaps it over to the far side. So Dasivam will fire it through, no icing. They check up. Miranda getting to the far side. Cutter, a little bit of a reverse hit. Moving through as Hody moves it through. And again, the Ravens at the check up. Evans with speed. Moves it through. Chips past one. Trying to dangle through. And a big hit. Really just more of a big collision. It's going to be an icing on the Ravens.
Yeah, that was Evans trying to dance through three Ravens, and you could call it a reverse it. You can call it whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it was a collision. Yeah, but Evans both guys ran him over.
Yeah. When both guys end up on the ice, it's definitely just a collision for sure. Evans dropped the shoulder. So did the other guy. They both ended up on the ice. I called it a double hit, maybe.
They both hit each other.
They should go in the book stats for both guys.
There you go. Very fair.
I don't think they keep hits, though, in mid-states. They should, though. They should.
Not keeping anything so far tonight.
That's unfortunate. Flipped up out of the zone. No, Talbot kicks it in, but no Raven there, or correction, Crusader there is right up. Gardner, quick shot, blocked on the way through. Tabachi got a stick in, and a pad save made. Dangerous Frederick Gardner. We were talking about the ability of his shot. Man, he's got a hard one for sure. As this one's played through, misplayed by the Crusaders again. It's kept in for the moment. Kalaos. And recollected. Tabachi off of the wall to the far corner. Played up. Trying to find a breakout pass. It squeaks through. Scott's reaching up on the near side. Moving through. And a good sticklet there is Hasselhoop trying to walk through the D. Didn't have the space. Now Gardner, good move. Little interference run for him. He walks it through. He scores! Frederick Gardner again. And it's 2-0 Priory.
Oh, what a move by Frederick Gardner right outside the blue line. Going into the St. Dominic end. Was forehand, backhand, just breaks the first defender and then splits the other one. And all alone, fires it right past the blocker. Tinker kisses it off the post. What a shot, and Gardner's got both for Priory so far tonight.
Frederick Gardner, his fourth goal of the playoffs. 5 points now, second goal tonight, coming right at the 12:44 mark of this first period. He got a little bit of interference run for him, pretty much perfectly like a screenplay right in front, and able to make a really good move. Walked it through, and all he had to do is put it blocker side, and it's 2-0 Priory. And they have possession in neutral zone. Ripped in. Tinker can't stop it with a stick. Strauss, slap shot and a glove save. As he just spun it around quickly, and Tinker had to get quick back in the crease. He's able to cover it up.
Yeah, after missing that puck wrapping around behind the net, Tinker was a little slow getting back even. And when that shot came off, he was still out of position, but luckily saw it with the glove and snagged it up. That top right corner was wide open.
Strauss, you got a man right behind him in Redmond. Up off of the glass, but not out. Werner kicks it in. Back up the other way. Karenbrock lost the handle. Popped into the neutral zone, still battling for it. And brought back in Bazol. Along the wall, Waltz trying to give him a little bit of body. And a good move by Bazol sent him high off his skates and into the wall.
I believe they call that an ankle breaker.
Yeah, I think that is I think you nailed that one right on the head right there. Get that man into a hospital bed right now. Check out those joints. Is right in front of the bench. Flipped up, another reverse hit laid. And they're going to have to play it in. Steinlage, that is, just firing it in. They are letting them hear it from the Priory student section. Along the near side, Redmond trying to get it to Robert Gartner. Into the corner. Trying to spin it around. 1 minute to go here in this first period. And already 2-0 Priory. Frederick Gartner continuing the tear. But along the near side, Sueso fired it through and stopped by the blocker of Sutto to stop it.
That's another chance for St. Dominic in 2-on-1. Suiso backdoor had Gortz. He was waiting there, wide open, no one in front of him. Instead, Suiso took it a little too low and just put it off the near side of the net and was able to be covered. But, I mean, you got to look backdoor and you got to make those passes earlier when they're available.
Suiso's matching up against Miranda. He wins it on the near side. Gortz moved through him and back the other way. Nadaud flips it into the glove and stopped by Tinker. Well, don't forget, Vantage Credit Union wants to give you a little financial boost. Right now, they're offering you $250 to join as a new member. Just open a new checking account. Use promo code STL250. It's that easy, whether you're saving for hockey tickets or your next financial goal. Vantage is here to help. Visit vcu.fyi/checking today. Captain Parmeter deflected right into the netting with just under 30 seconds to go, here in this first.
That'd be quite a long period. 30 minutes.
Plus the already 14 and a half minutes we played. A 45-minute period.
We're not playing soccer here.
Well, in a 45-minute game, you'd hope you wouldn't have a 45-minute period. I can tell you that much.
I mean,
hard off the wall.
You're not that wrong. There is 30 minutes left of the game.
Yeah, that is true. But not of the first period. As Parmeter moving it through, walks through one, into the slot, looks for a shot. Stick got lifted at the last second. Evans battling for it, taken away. Again into the slot. Nadad shot through. He got deflected, but it went wide. Trying to play it. Tinker was playing it straight up, and the deflection almost caught him. Final seconds here, and that's going to do it for the first. 2-0 Priory. Frederick Gartner continuing the hot streak. He has the Ravens up 2 in this must-win game.
Money decisions aren't always easy. That's why Vantage delivers confidence, services, and support to reach your financial goals. With a Vantage checking account, you'll enjoy convenient account access with powerful digital banking and branches across the St. Louis metro. Plus, benefits like 30,000 no-fee ATMs nationwide, cell phone protection, roadside assistance, and shopping discounts. We put you first because Vantage is truly your credit union. Get to know us at vcu.com or a branch in your community. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
You want a backyard paradise next summer? Talk to Merrimack Pools and Outdoors now. No surprises, great design, straight pricing, and you could be swimming by Memorial Day. Hit SplashSTL.com. Merrimack Pools and Outdoors, turning big Griswold dreams into real St. Louis backyards for 25 years.
Second period brought to you by WashU Medicine Orthopedics. Hockey moves fast and so should care when young athletes get hurt. At WashU Medicine Orthopedics, same-day walk-in care is available for injuries that happen on the ice, at practice, or anywhere kids play. With 12 locations across the St. Louis area, 4 walk-in clinics, their pediatric and sports medicine experts care for athletes of all ages and all levels. From first skates to big saves, bumps and bruises are part of the game. Expert care shouldn't be a question. WashU Medicine Orthopedics, team physicians for the St. Louis Blues. Be treated like a pro. Search WashU Medicine Ortho online. As we get ready for the second period, Priory, a must-win game for them. They can solidify this one. All they got to hope is that Howell continues their hot streak, and they won't have to worry about the outcome, really. So, 2-0 right now. They get a win. It's really a big sigh of relief knowing how Howell has played and hoping they can for sure close it out against Eureka just to be safe. But at this point, speaking, a win would almost guarantee them a spot into the quarterfinals. As this one's played across into the slot. Gardner trying to get in front, reaching for it. Cutter backhands it out. Well, the biggest thing right now for Priory, and we talked about this in the break here, they just cannot get drawn into that overly physical stuff that St. Dominic, knowing that it might be the end of their, knowing that it is the end of their rope, is a big hit behind the net. Bezol buries his man. That's exactly, you don't want to get into the physical game, but you don't want to get into the extra physical game, because then that can really hurt your chances. Have healthy players, maybe even suspensions. That's the last thing you want. As Aries fires it towards the slot into the corner after getting buried.
Yeah, you don't want to be dragged down into a trap. St. Dominic knows this is it for their season, so they're less worried about any punishments or anything that could come along with those lines, but they're going to still try and play spoiler, and one way that they can is be physical and get under Priory's skin.
Well, that's for sure. Now 2-on-1. Gartner up ahead with Gartner. Walks, waits, shot. He scores! The captain with the Hattie. And it's 3-0 Priory.
They just have no answer. No answer.
You cannot. That was a beautiful play from the backside. And two Ravens just ready to go. And Gartner waited them out. Nice shot, glove side.
That Frederick Gardner, he had his brother George back door, but he was looking glove side the whole time, wanted that natural hat trick. All three go to Frederick, and it's 3-0 Ravens once they put it up here on the scoreboard.
Minute 09 to go, or minute 09 in, 13:51 left here in the second period, and the Ravens have a 3-0 lead. Mind you, this is a Crusaders team that only lost to Howell 2-1. Priory only lost from 2-0 as well. So they were all very close games to the Vikings, who are very defensive, as the Crusaders offside. Scott early coming into the zone as Penning was beelining it, but Scott was just a little too overzealous.
And it got helped out by a little bit by the stick lift of Nadal. Coming in on the backside, slowed him up a little bit. Kind of might have got in on the hands just a touch, but it was enough to slow him down, pull him off sides.
Face off near side, one back by Redouty. Kalaos, backhands up, moves through Scott, and Miranda can't hold on to it. Quick shot through, deflected, pad save, rebound, taken away by Waltz. Front of the Crusaders bench, Bezol fires it deep. Scott racing after it, tries to center, swept away. Beam Dick, moving it through, glove down, Miranda can't clear it. Kalaos collects it behind the net. Redouty watching him, kicked in. Behind the Crusaders again, fresh off the bench, Karen Brock. Kalaos trying to move it through. Got his stick lifted. Slot feed, deflected up to the point. Yates holds, fires it into the corner. Kalaos slams it hard off the wall. It's going to be fired in, goes off of the official. Now, a unfortunate break for the Crusaders. There's a hard shot in and a toe save made. Miranda letting it go from behind the slot. Nadal picks it up. Center feed. And he just can't connect to Strauss in the slot. Battle along the wall. Puck is loose, way out of the scrum. They were still kind of getting into it. Now Penning trying to move it through. And a couple of sweeps. Nadal, good move. Crashing in. Shot blocker save over the net. Along the near advertising. Popped up. Yates trying to move it through himself. Into a stick. That one, Sadasivam. And now a stretch pass ahead, deflected by Dietrich just barely, so no icing. Into the corner, scrum, played away by St. Dominic. Another slot feed, finding no one. It pops all the way out to Strauss. The stick lift, so no icing, didn't matter. Gwynn, as there's Robert Gartner getting in on the mix. Another turnover there by the Crusaders. Fired in, no icing. Stop behind the net, Bezol. Moves it through in the corner. A backhand just kind of shove with one arm. Buries his man at the bench. Right back in for the Ravens. But cleared out. Dietrich gets a stick to it into the neutral zone. They're offside. They'll check up with Redmond, the last one out. Gwynn, snap pass over. Dietrich sticks it ahead, or skates it ahead, I should say, with the deflection. Karen Brock I'm not sure where he was going with that puck, but he just fired it deep. At the far point, shot, blocker save made by Soto. Soto with the unusual number 8. You don't usually see that. Same thing goes for his defenseman, Sadasavam, who's wearing number 31. A little bit unusual. And also Robert Gardner, they're wearing number 30. Yeah, I guess they just like to mix things up every now and then on the Priory side. This one goes all the way down.
Couple numbers you're not used to seeing without skaters. They're more goalie numbers. They're taking them from their netminders.
And it's not even just like the size. It's like the number is like the size. Like some of them, the bigger the number, bigger the size. Soto's number 8. That's a very large jersey. Gardner number 30. He looks pretty skinny in that. Like it's a medium almost.
Yeah, and Tinker on the other side, he's wearing number 27. A little different too.
They've got the names on the back.
Not
so
the
it's
rarest.
Not just
a little more common.
But even then, it's still not that most common of a goalie number.
No.
I don't even know if there's a 27 in the NHL right now. So
I have to do some research.
I think there's a 19 though. There's a couple 19s, I think. Waltz, quick shot through, got blocked, and now possible 3-on-2 if they can speed it up. Up ahead, Gwynn, the defenseman, moving through. Psych spins around, slot feed, and Gortz couldn't get it, and it's cleared down by the Ravens for safe measures. MidStates Hockey Playoffs brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, Kenny Reinhold at fineststlouishome.com, and by Benet Kelly Insurance Agency.
I have one gripe about games like this. Where is the music?
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's very just dead quiet whenever there's nothing going on.
Very eerie.
We should bring our own speaker.
Blast a big DeWalt speaker from up here.
There you go.
So that way we can't even hear ourselves. Ravens bring it into the far corner, behind the net. Center feed as Frederick tried to find his brother and then got buried by Gwynn. Gortz, as I don't know what the Ravens fans are barking at, but I think they're just barking at Gwynn for hitting their man. And walking the line, another center feed run into by Parmeter as Gardner lost his twig. They didn't slash it away from him. Good enough for the Crusaders. No penalty, and they're going to be offsides. As Airy, he's watching the puck the whole time. He didn't even try to stop.
No attempt to pull up at all whatsoever. He's just looking at him like, you better hurry. You better get in here before me, or I'm going to be offsides because I'm not gonna pull up. And he didn't
that's
pull
your
up.
fault.
Yep.
Face off near side.
Wish you could tell you the shots right now.
Yeah, me too.
I have a feeling it's a lot to a little.
Yeah, probably. Oh, hey, you got to go bare bones some days.
Yep.
This one's deflected up by Cutter. Sadasavam cuts it down, but it goes right back to Cutter on the near wall. Beamdick fires it ahead, 2-on-1. Nadal with Miranda out in front. Glove save! Are you kidding? Miranda can't bury it past Tinker. Another shot through. Got deflected on the way in. Collected by Priory again. Miranda spins once and twice. Back to his forehand. Sadasavam shoots one. Deflected into the chest at Tinker, and the save made. That was a really nice save there by Tinker with the glove.
Yeah, puck placement's got to be a little better, too. Just he gave Tinker a chance by keeping it lower, and we could give him the opportunity to slide over and get his glove on it. He elevated a little bit. I think that's in the net.
Face off near side, blocker side of Tinker. One back by the Crusaders, but taken away. A nice stick by Tinker. Gets it away from Beamdick. As this one's fired in from the point, right into the pads there. The deflections there really Kareem it off of the route. And a scrum in the corner ensues. Miranda's going to pull it out. Looks for an option. Backhand feed, trying to find one in the air. Sadasavam's shot. And that one high over the net. Miranda in the corner. He gets buried into the glass. Kicked around and picking it up are the Crusaders. Hassenlop. Hody lifts a stick, but still the possession of Priory. Another scrum in the neutral zone, and it's taken away. Jordan Cutter moving it up ahead. Spins back to his backhand, does a 180. Tabachi at the point, fires it towards the net, and couldn't get a deflection. And a glove save made by Soto.
Going back to that hit on the Priory captain, that is going to be St. Dominic's calling card for the rest of the game, is to be physical and bury them and try and drag Liberty down, get some opportunities on a power play by catching Priory catching Priory. on something that maybe they probably shouldn't be doing, especially up 3-0.
Out of the zone they come. Soto this season, or this postseason, I should say, at .935, the save percentage. But .293, which really isn't that bad. Not at all for a couple of games. Some close ones to start off with Eureka and Howell. So .293 and a .935 on a save percentage. That's a really good number. A nice .935. As this one played in the far corner. About halfway done with this one here. Both game and period. 7:30 to go.
I'll have an even better number for you here in just a second, Jake.
Oh, yes, by all means. Is Kalaus flips it in, and Yates knocks it down. Not too high of a stick. And he has it in the corner now. Finds the breakout pass. No, he didn't. Got deflected. Here comes Frederick Gardner moving it through with speed. Back into the slot. Save made. Still loose. They jam away into the slot now. Gardner looking. Shot. Got blocked. Top of the circle. He's still got the puck. Good move, but he had a body that knocked him off. Waltz. Shot. Deflected. Pass right back out to Gardner. Kalaus waits. Shoots it through. Stick went off with the blades of Yates. Up at the far corner, or the far point. Waltz rolls through him, but he's the first one to it as St. Dominic had two guys rushing towards the puck. Waltz, stick lifted, but they did not see that being the Crusaders with Karen Brock. Didn't know where this puck went. Flipped in deep, glove down, not saved fully. Couldn't get the complete control at the point. Kaleos, Gardner knocks down with a high stick, but the Crusaders the first one to it. Kept in for the moment. Bazole backhands it up ice. 1v1 up ice. Penning moving it through on the backhand. Shot right into the chest. Couldn't corral it and sticked away. Softly off the wall, near side. They play it up to their captain, Frederick Gardner. Spins back in the corner at the point, trying to find his younger brother, and couldn't connect. That being George. This one fired all the way down by St. Dominic.
You ready for that even better number?
Yes, sir.
That even better number comes from Nathan Soto's regular season stats with a 150 goals against average and a 939.
Wow.
Save percentage. Regular season numbers right there. So he's been strong all year.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Face off, one back by the Ravens. They're up 3, 5:50 to go here in the second period. Into the corner. A little bit of a scrum. Stood up there. Gwynn standing up his man in Redmond. Brought back in by the Crusaders. Not a whole lot of blue in the stands here today. Let's see, down at kind of been more of a basketball school anyway.
Almost 40 minutes away, too.
That as well. Up just off of Highway 70 in O'Fallon. What a beautiful gym up there, though. I've been up there. I've seen it when my cousin played their Christmas tournament one year. Very, very nice arena they got. Or nice gym, I should say. As we got a penalty coming up on the Ravens. Going to be a hook. I believe on Redmond.
I know it's not related, but they had a sergeant come out of there, too. A soccer program on the U.S. men's national team, Josh Sargent.
Oh, yes.
Came out of St. Dominic.
They are also a really good soccer school. Soccer and basketball are...
That's a fantastic name for somebody on a national team.
Oh, fantastic.
Sargent.
Say, I know of a sergeant from Bemidji a long time ago. His name's Gary Sargent. Really, really good hockey player.
Yeah, Crusaders are only in their third season as an ice hockey program as well. So
still growing the game. Freeman back to Evans. But, hey, new teams, that's everything you want. More high schools. Being able to celebrate clubs, collaborate with them, help them out a little bit. Finding players as Evans back up top. Gwynn shot through, and that one just went wide off of some deflection. Nice cut back there. Freeman at the circle. Waits, cross-ice feed. Evans walks it. He's got a lot of room. Takes the shot. Got blocked on the way through and taken away. Up ice. Here come the Ravens shorthanded. 2-on-2. Nadal shot and an easy pad save. Quickly, Beamdick spins it away. Got blocked, trying to fire it towards the net at the near circle. Stopped, held on to by Blake Evans. Defenseman holds, snap pass up ahead. Off of the wall by Gwynn, trying to connect with Freeman. Couldn't find him. He hits his man. Could be a 2-on-1, but sticked away from Gardner at the last second by Evans. Kicked forward. Gwynn walking it through at the circle. Sticking his way. Gardner out in front of it. Couldn't stop it. Gwynn gives it off. Shot in. Save made. And Gort's on the doorstep didn't have a rebound chance as Soto covered it up.
Yeah, what a save from Soto, too, coming out to the top of his crease. Almost could say he robbed him with the glove. Great save, just snagging it out of the air. Marc-Andre Fleury-esque. And down on the other side, St. Dominic's got to watch out for the odd man rushes coming away shorthanded for Priory. They almost gave up a couple.
St. Dominic 0 for 1 so far. 51 seconds remaining on this one. One back by the Ravens. They get it out of the zone, but not very far. Good stick by Tabachi. Spins it over to his D partner. As Bazol and giving away. Parmeter will slam it back down all the length of the ice.
If the first 25 minutes of game time has told us anything, when 87's on the ice for Priory, doesn't matter shorthanded or not, that you got to watch out for him to break away and pick his spot and pick a corner.
And then, speaking of 87, there he is right now. He flips it back out of the zone. A pass intended to the far side. Spin away. Gortz trying to put his man into the wall. Now two guys colliding. And now Gardner. Glove down at the point. Shot through. Blocker save made. And now fresh out. Cleared down the length. And it's going to be an icing as it was right after the time expired on the power play. 3:08 to go here in this second period.
Hey, if you're St. Dominic, you got to get one in here. Or you needed to get one in there, I should say, but you need to get one in soon if you want to try to change the tide of this game, because right now it's still all Priory. They lead 3-0.
Don't want to go into the third down 3 and nothing on the scoreboard for you.
Yeah, that's just a mental game that usually puts you in the wrong spot as well. That's when you start throwing hits you really don't need to. Snap pass across ice. Miranda trying to catch up to it with speed. Moving through. Gwynn went into the wall hard. Hody played away from him. Trying to move it up now. Hasenlop played away. Miranda avoids a hit. Got through another as Hody had him lined up in open ice. Made a good move. Now 3-on-3. Flipped in. Glove down by Soto. He's just going to hold on to it. Well, that's a nice shifty little move there
from Miranda. Yeah, and Hody was out for blood. He was lined him up the whole way. Was going to absolutely blow him up. And Miranda said, I'm going to cut this way. Sent him almost flying the other way. I'm kind of surprised he stayed on his feet, was shifting all his momentum to try to blow him up.
That's been St. Dominic's calling card tonight, and it has been physicality from the first puck drop. They were all over trying to make hits and playing more than that versus trying to stick the puck away.
In this pool, Priory was the top seed. St. Dominic was the 12. Eureka was the 13. Priory fourth in the WIC standings. St. Dominic, as we mentioned, 12th. Third in the pool. Francis Howell came in at 5. And they lead it in this pool here. Priory trying to make it the top 2 coming through. They're on side and a flip pass out. The Dowd trying to race after it. Evans off of the wall and stick down and fired in deep. Race after for it. Harry McGehee moving through. Nadal missed a hit. Now a chance. Hody with Kalaus on his back. Tried to center. His man was cutting to the wrong side. Trying to get some blood there, but moved out of the zone. Here comes Waltz moving through 3-on-2. No, 4-on-2. Plays it back. Gardner shot through. Glove save and a nice snap of the hand by Tinker.
Yeah, Gardner had it all the way. Got to the faceoff dot right over here. And a little bit of a friendly screen from the Crusader defenseman. And Tinker had to be quick and glove that up just above his pad. Quick sneaky shot from Frederick Gardner.
I'll tell you one thing. St. Dominic, as if the trends stay, will not buck the trend of visitors, or will not stay the trend of visitors getting the wins. Visitors in this pool are 3-1. Right now, the only one was Howell over St. Dominic, home team over away team. I do like this color combo, red against the light blue.
I like seeing both colors.
100%. We saw it last game as well.
White.
Or no, 2 games ago, I believe. It was always love to see both colors. I was walked at the slot or at the top of the circle, and another glove save by Tinker.
As long as both teams aren't navy.
That's for sure.
Or black, or the same color. So,
just to give you an idea of the other pools, visitors almost all won except for the one tie, 5-5 between Parkway West and MICDS at Pool C. Pool A, 2-2 even split. Pool B, all home teams winners. As Moving up ice, here comes St. Dominic, flipped in deep by Karen Brock. Too much behind it. Battle ensues, taken away by the Crusaders. Trying to center. Dietrich has it along the near wall, and he's a little bit of a bump there by Gardner. Not too much, though. Spinning away. Augie Warner can't clear the zone. Yates tried to fire it up ice, or in towards the net, and just fanned on it. Able to put it back down low. First one to it on the far side there was Steinloggy, and he has it. Rolled off his stick. Bezol, another slot feed, can't connect. Erie able to pick it up on the backhand. He moves it up in front of his own bench. Stops, snaps it across, trying to find his man, Frederick Gardner, who's got all three tonight. Final about 20 seconds of play here in this second period. Here comes Gardner, 3-on-3, lost the handle, played through, still in control. The other Gardner with a shot. That one being George, and he just missed the net. Final 10 seconds as Yates brings it up, 2-on-2, and a nice stick on the bat side by Sadasavam, and a quick shot in, goes wide off the back wall, back of the net. Final little bit, Scott into Parmeter, who gives him a little tap on his shoulder with the stick. We got a 3-0 game, 15 minutes remaining here. Priory trying to seal this one up, send him to the quarterfinals with the win. And we got the third period coming up next on the Lou Information Station.
Money decisions aren't always easy. That's why Vantage delivers confidence, services, and support to reach your financial goals. With a Vantage checking account, you'll enjoy convenient account access with powerful digital banking and branches across the St. Louis metro. Plus, benefits like 30,000 no-fee ATMs nationwide, cell phone protection, roadside assistance, and shopping discounts. We put you first because Vantage is truly your credit union. Get to know us at vcu.com or a branch in your community. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA.
When young athletes get hurt, fast care matters. At WashU Medicine Orthopedics, same-day walk-in care is available for injuries that happen both on and off the ice. With 12 area locations and 4 walk-in clinics, doctors here care for athletes at every level, from peewee to pro. Big hits, hard falls, get expert care, and get back in the game. WashU Medicine Orthopedics, team physicians for the St. Louis Blues, and you. Search WashU Medicine Ortho online. That's WashU Medicine Ortho.
Third period of action coming up here in just a couple of seconds. It's going to be Priory back to going left to right. St. Dominic's the other way. The other game's going on right now. Currently, Lindbergh, Rockwood Summit. No score update from that one, though both teams in Pool B, those are going to be the two moving on no matter what. As one of them will be 2-1, might be 2-0-1. Both of them have 2 wins, though, so that will finish up Pool B over at Kennedy. And next up at 7:50, Northwest versus Lafayette at Maryville. And we don't know exactly what will go on, but we'll have a good idea after this one based on the score now, as Howell still has to take on Eureka, 9:30 tonight from Maryville. I'm going to be in that one. I'll probably be trying to get some sleep, but it'll still be a good one to keep some tabs on if you are certainly a scared Priory faithful. That's for sure. Might be taking a trip up to Maryville. It's on the way. It's on the way home if you're going back towards, going back up, I should say. At least if you're a St. Dominic guy. Trying to move it up ahead in front of the Priory bench. The Ravens holding on to a 3-0 lead. Frederick Gardner has all 3 goals. Looking for some more. Hunting in the neutral zone there. Miranda snap back over to him. Tries to play it off the wall as Bazol able to play it away from him. Nadoud plays it into the corner. Yates on his backhand, lost the handle, gave it back. Frederick Gardner centering feed. Nadoud didn't have his stick down. Parmeter back down low, deflected, rolls over. Gardner back up to the point, into the slot. Miranda tries to spin around. Second chance. Got the pads to it there, Tinker. Back down to Gardner and sticked away in the slot. Well, the physicality starting to ramp up early here. Just a minute and a half to go, or a minute and a half here in this third as Parmeter lets one go high in the slot and the save made.
Expect a lot post whistle from St. Dominic here in this final period of action for them on the year, trying to drag Priory into something that they cannot afford to do looking on to the quarterfinals.
If you can't end the year off with a bang in the score sheet, you can at least do it on the ice. There's another faceoff won by the Ravens as George Gartner tried to move it through. Lost a handle. So do the rest of the Crusaders. Penning able to spin it, and it goes in deep. Flung around. Gartner buried from behind by Tabachi. Ravens going to go back to power play. Center feed kicked at. Up to the point. Bar meter towards the net. Deflected away. Scott didn't get full possession of it. It was more or less just a deflection. And now finally Penning will get to it. And we are going to get a penalty against Crusaders as George Gartner right now yelling at McGeehee about something. I think it was just about how he handled that play. But either way, they're going to have 2 more minutes here.
Wouldn't really consider it a suicide pass. So not sure what it would be about unless he was just very excited about telling him what play he would like to set up if he comes back out here.
That's for sure. 2 minutes on the clock here. Third period brought to you by Benet Kelly Insurance Agency, proudly serving the St. Louis area for more than 75 years. Visit benet-kelly.com for more information. They are 1-2 on the power play here as Priory, as Gartner flings it to the far side along the line, kept in just barely. It's got to cross in fully as Gartner holds on to it. Wait, shot. Looks like he might have intentionally fired that one wide. Dowd spins away from a hit. Beamdick. Below the goal line. Center feed. Second chance. Waltz. Couldn't bury it. A big pad save by Tinker. He's buried into the wall. They scrum for it. Trying to lunge at it. Now they've left a guy wide open. It's Gartner in the circle. Shot, save made. It's sitting in front of the crease and taken away by the Crusaders. Well, the one good side of that, I guess, was Gartner. He was walking in all alone, but they gave Tinker enough time to see him. Gave it back. Nadowd below the goal line. Pops up off the dasher. Airy didn't see it. Flung around, kept in. Nadowd walks it. Top of the circle. Shot, got blocked. I don't know if he saw Gardner over in the OV-offs. Now 2-on-1. Here comes Evans. Moving up ice. He's just going to flip it in deep as kind of gets a look there from Cutter. But Evans was tired. He needed a change, and they were crashing down on him pretty hard. Here comes Gartner moving through, spinning back. Crusaders want a penalty. Saucer feed into the slot. Chance. Shot. Save. Rebound. No. Second chance. They score. Took a couple of chances. Finally, there's Tinker pretty much completely out of the net. And it's Robert Gartner. It's a family affair for Priory. It's 4-0 and another power play goal.
And Gartner's all the way across the score sheet tonight. Frederick with 3 now. Robert getting on there as well with his first. And just a little left out to dry for Tinker back there because puck with cymbals clashing together down there.
Is that a gong? It sounded like a gong.
Yeah, it's a gong. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's whacking away a few times in front. Gardner finally gets it over to him, or gets over to Robert Gardner. It just has to slam it away into an empty net.
So 4-0 now. It's Robert Gartner getting in as this one pops in towards the crease. Couldn't get to it. Back up, center feed in the neutral zone, moving it through the Crusaders. Strauss got back to the puck. Karen Brock, Steinlage runs into him. Dietrich will pick it up on the far side. They snap it across, in control. Brody Yates gave it away. Gartner in his skates. That one was Robert. They're just missing Frederick, and they got all 3 of them. As this one pops over, here's George Gartner. He pulls up in front of the Zamboni doors. Robert spins it towards the slot, trying to find his man Strauss. And now the other way. Here come the Crusaders. Bazol, it makes a move, trying to walk it through. The backhand goes well wide. Dietrich's the first one, too. He passes out to the point. Yates keeps it in. Along the far wall. Snapped in towards the net. Sutto with the save. Another shot. Another save made by Sutto, and he covers up.
Can't even blame Tinker for that goal going in on the other end because he was
a little bit of a mix-up there. Bazol and George Gardner just getting tangled up after the whistle. The referee was yelling at him.
Anyways, what I was saying was Tinker was pulling out all the acrobatic tricks and just eventually ran out.
He just got out of place that last second, and not much he could do. He just buried that one away. So face-off, one back by the Crusaders. Chipped away by Nadal, who got to that puck. McGehee walks it over the blue line, flips it high in the air. Not sure what he was trying to do, as Gortz now 2-on-2 will walk it up with Tabachi. He'll just play it in deep past Warner off the wall. And the near side corner flings it in the air through the crease. Nadal fires it through, and now McGehee might have a break, trying to use some speed. He'll bring it over the blue. At the goal line, Talbot watching him, and it's given away. Now with the other way comes Suiso. He'll bring it through himself at the circle on the near side. Tries to leave it off. He does. Gortz with another good move. Played over to Suiso. He'll have to pick it up over against the wall. Flipped around. Miranda will pick it up in the near corner. He gets hit, but stands up and then fell down trying to spin around. He didn't fall on the hit as Gortz out in front. Settle the save. Rebound. They score! They might not spoil the outcome for Priory, but they'll spoil the shutout. Hayden Suiso on the rebound.
Yeah, just some good puck movement there from Suiso and Gortz. That's the Priory faithful chance scoreboard, because as they're crawling back. You got to get one before you can get two. You got to get two before you can get three. So calling back, Suiso gets it on the back door, and now they're on the board.
They've had some good puck movement. I think just Priory's just been a step above them in a lot of play, and especially with Frederick Gartner out there, it's kind of hard to get past him. They've had some good moments. They're just a little bit quicker on the side of the Ravens. As here comes Hody moving through at the circle shot. Blocker save and just over the backside of the net. Waltz. Well, hey, if any consolation, you still at least scored. Didn't get shut out, so there's always that. One more to add as a stick lifted, and that's what's going to negate the icing. Talbot lifting Gartner's stick. Is a nice play by Tinker to play it out. He's had a really good game. It's one of those things where, you know, you always look at the scoreboard, you say, oh, 4 goals, couldn't have been that great. He's made some really good saves tonight. Awesome loop, backhands it back. He got stood up by Gartner. Another hit from behind, this time from Strauss on Tabachi. They're not happy about it, but St. Dominic's going to get a power play here with 8:57 to go.
Yeah, it looked like Strauss kind of put his hand on the back of Tabachi as he was getting up, just to kind of be like, hey, my bad. Didn't mean to put you in the boards like that from behind at the last second. A little late of a turn, but once you see the numbers, you got to let up, and that's going to make you sit for 2.
St. Dominic just their 3rd goal in the playoffs here. They've never scored more than 1 in the past 2 games. 2-1 to Howell and 3-1 to Eureka. I think they're getting a little bit of a shocker here. Now down 3. It's just progressively gone up by 1 and might even be worse. They're shaking. It looks like some tissues or maybe some. Or was that money? Was that money?
It looked like money.
I think it was money.
Oh, you don't like to see that.
Considering that both of these are relatively expensive schools, I don't think there's much difference.
I think the school worker that is in front of the student section is telling them, hey, you can't necessarily do that. But,
but it also is an affiliate with the school, so.
That is true, yes.
I don't know how much say you got down there.
Well, they're always trying to promote good sportsmanship at the high school level, but that being said, you know, it's like showing up to a youth game.
Yeah, they try to promote it, but that doesn't mean that's always the way it goes.
Yep. Well, we've learned that one. That's for sure. All we know is that a lot of teams really love each other. That's about it.
They're all very friendly.
Yes, that is for sure.
Especially Second and Fox.
Some kind of F word in there. I don't know.
Especially Second and Fox. They love each other, man.
Flipped over. Here comes Evans along the wall, walking it through into the circle with speed. Cycles it, takes for a grand tour. Has Gwynn at the top of this blue line. He'll walk it in. Waits. Evan one-timer. Went off the heel of his stick. Now a battle for Sueso trying to put the captain into the wall. He's able to spin it away and fire it down the length of the ice. Tinker will stop it. He looks up and plays it into the neutral zone himself. Back up the other way. Here comes Freeman. Leaves it off to Gwynn over the red line. Watching him was Beam Dick. Evans. Back to him. Looks for lane. Didn't have enough. Freeman will walk it through. He's got a shot, and that one trying to get over top. It was Gortz, deflected it down, but not towards the net. And out of the danger of the Ravens with 40 seconds to go here on the Strauss penalty. Snapped across. Freeman off his backhand and fired down by Werner. Trying to say too many, but that's not too many.
Well, they did have a sixth skater out on the ice.
Yeah,
though.
but it was in the middle of a change, and they hammer it at their bench. There's always that kind of leniency
After that
kind of period.
They still didn't get the sixth skater off the ice for another 5-6 seconds after that, I want to say, though.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, guy right down in front of the backup goalie over here. Hopped on and was staring at the ref like almost asking him to call it, but then he hopped right off.
Well, you see, you got to be able to sell it. As power play over for the Crusaders. Shot blocked by Waltz as Husson Loop walks it through.
Kind of an odd spot for Venezuela. It's not in the student section. It's actually a little kid down in front of us. I was trying to find it over in the student section when I heard it.
I mean, hey, sometimes the parents like to pull out the Vuvuzelas. That's what you'd like to see. Back in the Crusaders zone. Miranda trying to give Gwynn a little bit of a shoulder. Not out of the zone, but deflected out at the end. Husson Loop can't get control. Walking through. Big hit! Gwynn on Airy. He stood him up in open ice. Scott will walk it through over the red. He brings it in. Top of the circle shot. That one might have gone off the stick there. Behind the net. Pops out. Miranda able to pick it up. Can't spring the 2-on-1. Priory. Erie moves it up. Gartner wants to walk through one. Chips it to himself. Tinker made the pad save. Going for the poke check as well. As just too heavy from the chip from Gartner. But I do like that move there. A little simple loose puck move there, but unable to get it done. Just over 5:40 to go. Priory looking to solidify this in their spot in the quarterfinals. As long as Eureka doesn't make anything too crazy.
Well, if it does go to a three-way tie, this will certainly help their goal differential heading into the tiebreakers.
Of course, that head-to-head, too, they do have Eureka beat, but then Eureka has it over Howell, who has it over Priory, as this one's tipped in towards the net and gloved down, as Gartner gave a little bit of extra high stake, and Tinker did not like that. So that's also the fun thing, too, when it comes to the head-to-head. It just becomes a big old circle.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the goal differential will probably come into play.
I think that's going to be the deciding factor, and I think a 3-goal lead as long as this stands and St. Dominic does not crawl their way back into it, it's going to bode very well for Priory in locking up a quarterfinal spot. And it kind of turns into now Howell's playing for their life tonight, not only Eureka.
That is true. Well, this one's fired off the wall. Eureka did lose to Priory. That final score was 5-2 in favor of the Ravens. This one's popping out. Unable to find it in his skates there was Nadal, excuse me, as they walk it up to Bocce. Lost it in his skates. George Gartner trying to move it up ahead. Looks up. Lays an extra hit on Bocce, who gave him a little smack on the forehead with a stick there. No high stick, though. Miranda, drop pass. Nadal fires it in. Comes to the near side. Talbot. Fires it up. Penning in a stick battle. Tangled up. Nadal pulls it away. Gartner trying to build some speed. Trying to walk through. They tried to stand him up. But he was not in a position really to get hit. It's very weird to say that. Usually you're always in a position to get hit. But with the way he was moving, it would have been really hard to hit him. This one's deflected by Miranda. Oh, given away by Tinker and almost centered for Gartner. Chipped up and away. Was it deflected? No, and it's going to be an icing.
This game has flown by. There are not a lot of whistles. And
no, it's been a very quick game.
A lot of back and forth.
Going on an hour 20 here. 3:50 to go here in the third. 4-1 Priory.
And 10 minutes of that hour 20 is our pregame. So
that's crazy. Just over an hour here in this game as a quick draw here. Looks like they're going to kick George Gartner out. Frederick Gartner with 3 goals here, the first 3, and his brother Robert getting the 4th on the scramble in the crease. Played up Miranda, able to play it back. Gartner center feed, trying to connect with Airy. He got rubbed off the puck, and now Evans trying to use his speed. Bringing it up ice. And Sadasevin able to stand it up with the stick. In along the wall, Miranda moving it through. Stood up a hit. Flipped in deep by the Crusaders on goal. So at least one more shot on goal there for the Crusaders. Stat patter there for Soto. Tipped in, Miranda. Evans right behind him, a little bit hard on the chop. Backhanded below the goal line. Airy picks it up near corner. Back up to the point. Waltz walks the blue. Shot through. Got blocked on the way in. Kalaus into the corner. George Gartner trying to get it open. He's got Robert in the slot. Kalaus at the blue line. Lost it. They're offside. And now Priory will check up. MidStates Hockey Playoffs brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, WashU Medicine, Orthopedics, Kenny Reinhold at fineststlouishome.com, and by Benet Kelly Insurance Agency. And a quick snap pass, Gartner. And he's able to stand up that hit. Could be a 2-on-1. Strauss and Robert Gartner. Strauss shot. And he's going to get put into the wall. That one got blocked on the way in. Waltz couldn't keep the zone. Gartner, that being George, trying to get in on the physicality as he battles away on the backside there with Steinlage. This one went on goal. They'll break him up. Tinker gave it away to Strauss. Trying to spin through. A pirouette past Gortz. At the circle, shot got blocked and he got buried. Up off the wall, trying to use some speed. Gortz. Waltz pinches him off. They battle away. He takes him down. It's going to be a hold on Gortz. Snap pass away, so Priory will end the game on a power play pending a goal. And actually going to call, oh, no, it is a hold. It was correct. Gortz to the box here for the final minute 50 of his season, unless Priory puts in a fifth.
As physical of a game hockey is, you can't just tackle somebody.
No, you can't really do that. That's kind of I don't know, against the rules.
Yeah, tension's boiling over there just a little bit too. Yeah, Waltz came in on the back check, had him beat. Didn't like it.
Very mad. He's not a fan. As Gartner, a little bit of a conversation with Yates.
Only 4 Ravens on the ice right now.
Here comes the fifth.
Miranda will be the one to get onto the ice with Gartner and Beimdick, Parmeter, and the Dowd, the 2 defensemen. So face-off, near side, glove side. They're having a conversation right now with the captain, the referee. I'm not sure if they're just going to call this one here, and I don't think so, but no, not that. I don't even know why I thought that, but.
You think they were going to call the game?
I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
We concede.
Parmeter shot through, right at the crease, deflected away and fired out.
Well, if that was a proposed idea, I think Gardner would say, no, I want my 4th goal.
Yeah, that would make sense. You got to pad those stats, man. Pad those stats. There's Gartner with it right now. Here comes Frederick up the ice, over the blue. Top of the circle, holds on to it. Heavy shot, pad save made. Beamdick, Nadowd walks, shot through, and a save made. A little bit of an extra slash afterwards as well. Gardner goes right to the official.
This last minute 19 of the third, I'm expecting things to get a little more chippy than they have been. Just got to keep an eye on, make sure everybody keeps their heads and doesn't throw anything that's a little too egregious.
Yeah, especially for Priory. You're looking at going on to the quarterfinals and waiting for tonight's result to know what that matchup's going to be, but absolutely do not get yourself into trouble and miss out on that quarterfinal game.
Gardner's shot. Patted away. Nadowd walk, shot, blocked by his own man. Miranda took a tumble. Knocked himself off. Beamdick tries to kick it back. Off the backside of the net. Center feed. Parmeter keeps it in. Looks for his captain. Gartner. High saucer feed. Final minute of play here in this one. As Priory looks to move on to the quarterfinals here. Trying to end off this win as this one's deflected away. It's going to be a race. Scott trying to get a last-second consolation shorthanded. Makes a couple of moves. Scott on the backhand. Save made. Rebound. Another save made. And they bury each other. Gardner getting into it on the backside with Osenlup.
How about Gardner just standing there not throwing a single shot? Took like 4 shivers right to the head. Didn't throw one back.
Couple cross checks, and the Priory faithful are letting them hear it.
Hasselhoff's just going to be gone.
They should be.
Yep.
They're just going to send him to the
Unnecessary.
locker room.
I couldn't make that one out.
Me neither. Haven't heard it before, I'll tell you that.
It's a little hard to hear.
Yeah.
31.7 to go, and it will be, I think it's going to be a 5-on-3 here to end off this game here as well. 31 seconds left. 4-0 Priory.
Heard that one.
What did they say? I don't think we can say it.
They said, what a loser.
Ah, that's a fun one. McGeehee, a new one in. Fires it off the backside of his man out in front. Redmond, I believe, yeah. As this one, Robert McGeehee getting into this one. Shot, save, rebound, kicked away. Redmond off of his own skate. Slap shot, patted away. Rebound, sitting loose. Didn't get all the way through. Still 10 seconds to go. Kaleos, a battle. McGeehee waits. Fans on the shot. Finally gets it. Played away, and that's going to do it. Priory will move on. There's St. Dominic's season. 0-3 here in the Wick, and that's going to do it for them. But Priory, by the looks of it, will be moving on, pending some craziness tonight against Eureka and Howell. Will have a spot in the quarterfinals alongside the Vikings.
Just a strong, full 45 minutes from the Ravens. They came out fresh out of the gate. They were flying all over the place, creating the majority of the scoring chances. That's why they won this one 4-1. It was all Ravens all night, and St. Dominic just couldn't get anything going, couldn't set up in the Priory end, couldn't get really many clean looks on net, minus their goal, which was just a bunch of bouncing pucks that they finally whacked in. So it was a strong win for Priory, a tough loss to swallow, the way to end your season for St. Dominic, but go back to the drawing board, try to come back stronger next year.
Well, I think you really got to hand it to Priory, too, coming out with the right mindset of, we have to win this one, but let's just play it like it's any other game. That's kind of how it seemed like to me. There wasn't a lot of pressure. There wasn't a lot of or I shouldn't say urgency. They wanted to play and they wanted to win. They needed to win, but they didn't play like if they didn't win, it was completely over. Like it was a must-win game. Everything relies on this, yada, yada, yada. You get what I'm saying. But
they didn't play rushed.
No, that's exactly it, too. They didn't play rushed. They didn't play panicked. They were in the right spot to win that game because they were comfortable. They seemed comfortable like it was any other game, but they're just there to play the game. And that's exactly, I think that's what helps them move on to the quarterfinals here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking on to the rest of Pool D. So Eureka lost to Priory 5-2. But they would beat St. Dominic 3-1. So they're sitting with a -1 goal diff. And Francis Howell is 2-0, beat St. Dom 2-1, and beat Priory 2-0. So that is a 3-goal diff. So Eureka would have to come out and win by 3 or 4.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Howell's been on a little bit of a tear, though. It's just been close games for Howell. Just the 2-0 win and the 2-1 win. But they still sit atop of those standings. They've been a tough team. So if they get it done tonight, it will be Priory and Howell moving on for sure. As of right now, it's what it looks like the spots will be pending any craziness. But a good job by Priory knowing what they're up against, knowing that if we get a win, we're almost guaranteed to be in. And that's pretty much, they played, like I said, just an excellent game. And they played it like it was just another game they're having fun with. They were comfortable, they were ready, and they got it done 4-1.
Yeah, just really strong all the way throughout. And like Hunter said before, they didn't play rush. They were super calm with the puck, didn't force any chances, just took their looks when they had them. And if they keep doing that going forward, I think they can move on a little further past this next round.
Well, this Mid-States hockey playoff game brought to you by Mattingly Lumber, Vantage Credit Union, WashU Medicine Orthopedics, Kenny Reinhold at fineststlouishome.com, and by Benet Kelly Insurance Agency. A quick look at here. The final shots today were also 45-21 in favor of the Ravens. And next up, we have A really good one. The Founders Cup Championship will be our next game 10 days from now on Thursday, February 19th on YouTube and 590 KLIS. The location and time still to be determined, but it will be a fun one. This is your two teams that could, or the few teams that could possibly in there. It's Fort Zamal East against Seckman in semifinal number 1. That will be tomorrow, also here at Queenie, by the way. And then Wentzville Holt against Westminster over in Wentzville at 8:10. The other one at 9 p.m. So, and they will have the second game. Those don't have a location and time just yet. So it's either going to be East against Holt, East versus Westminster, or Fort Zamal East, I should say. Fort Zamal East versus Holt, or Westminster, or Seckman versus Holt, or Westminster. And that will be, once again, Thursday, February 19th, right here on YouTube and 590 KLIS Salu information station. Really looking forward to that. I know a lot of people say the Founders, it doesn't really matter. It's all the lower teams, this and that. But I know you're a St. Louis hockey guy. It still means something to win a championship at the end of the season, whether it's Founder Wick or the Challenge.
Yeah, it's still a championship. You still have something to play for.
Still a trophy.
Yeah, you still get a trophy. So you can attribute that to your success for the season.
Well, that is how it will shape up. Those are the possible matchups that we will have next Thursday, next week, the 19th. But until then, for my broadcast partner, Daniel Hinkamp, our amazing producer here on site, Hunter Mahan, I am Jacob Stonick. We'll see you next Thursday, the February 19th, for the Founders Cup Championship up next on 590, the Lou Information Station.